Hey everyone, it is Thursday, and that means that I am on Twitter and I'm answering your questions for you. So if you asked your question using the hashtag KatieFAQ, I found it and I'm answering it, and I have 4 today, as well as a journal topic. Some of you, I know you missed the journal topics, I'm sorry, but sometimes I have so much to talk about, and I have to compress it into a video where you're not like, Katie, stop rambling, blah, blah, blah. So without further rambling, first question. When in recovery, this is a great question. When in recovery, how do we know what is the most important to treat if we have multiple diagnoses? Like, let's say we have MDD, PTSD, and BPD. Maybe we also have eating disorder, right? Who knows what's going on? I truthfully work with my patients to find out what I call the core diagnosis is. And this is usually the one that happened first. Okay, so with this, the PTSD, BPD, and MDD, I would venture to say that the PTSD happened first. Then came the MDD, and then came the BPD. And I'll work with my clients to usually put a timeline together because we know what happened, right? If we think about it, we know what happened first. So I usually have my clients work on the original, the first instance, because the other things, honestly, are just side effects of that central core issue. So if we're working, let's say PTSD is our core issue, I would work on the trauma that they'd experienced, whether it's working with the Courage to Heal workbook or another workbook, or just talking it out with me. We'll do that first. Okay? I hope that answers your question. Question number 2. I'm attached to my therapist. I'm just kidding. And I'm not so sure what to do. She's so nice and caring, and no one else has ever been like that to me. I don't know what to do. All I know is that I'm going to end up even more upset and not see anyone else. Any tips/advice? Thank you. Oh, and how is it possible to be attached so soon? Like, I haven't seen her that many times. That often happens. And I don't know the full story behind this person's question, but I can usually kind of guess about what's going on. And many times, if we have had either a traumatic upbringing or lack of a real parental figure in our life, and no one's really paid us that much attention, and we've never really gotten the support and the love and the nurturing that we needed, and we felt kind of neglected. Many people who've had that kind of a upbringing often struggle with attachment issues, and that's because we've never had someone there that we know they're there if we need them. We know that they're coming around. We know I can always call mom, or I can always call my brother, and they'll always, help me out, blah, blah, blah. If we don't have that, when we finally find someone like a therapist who is there for you, we're there for an hour to listen to you, to find out what's going on, to be supportive, to understand. It's like, that person, I finally found that person. Oh my God. And we want to attach to them. And it happens very quickly. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing to be embarrassed or worried or feel like you can't talk about it. I would bring it up with your therapist. I know that's going to make you nervous, but I promise we deal with this kind of stuff all the time. And it happens because you've never been cared for. And we get that, right? And a lot of times my borderline patients will have that issue as well. They'll either try to push me away, where they'll cancel appointments, and be really elusive, and then all of a sudden they'll want to be back all the time. We see that a lot. So I would talk to her and just be honest and open about it. And it's one of those perfect, therapeutic relationships where you can actually be honest with one another. It's what's wonderful about those types of relationships rather than the ones that we have in our regular life, is that it's a safe place to bring things up and talk about it, because that's what we're there for, right? I hope that helps, okay? Question number 3. Since I started self-harming badly when I'm actually leaving scars, I have had only one intimate relationship, which didn't really last too long. Opportunities have come to get into new relationships, but I'm too scared because I really wouldn't want to let them see my scars and cuts in case they laughed or even told others. Any advice, or should I just stay single forever? No, we don't have to stay single forever. One thing I do caution all of my clients on is that if we aren't loving on ourselves, like if we're still engaging in our eating disorder full blown, we're still engaging in our self-harm urges all the time, we're still extremely suicidal, whatever it may be, right? If we're still having all of those urges, it's probably not a good time to get into a relationship. And the reason being is because for that time in your life, you really need to focus on you. And the worst thing that can happen is we get into a relationship where we're dependent on that person, they're dependent on us, instead of us having a healthy relationship, if that makes sense, okay? So I encourage my clients to wait to get into a relationship until they're more recovered. and they're not feeling so volatile, because we want them to love you for you. We don't want them to think you're a project and they can help you with your issues, because that's not what they're there for. They're there to love on you and support you, but you need to work with your treatment team and get yourself feeling better so that you can love others, right? We got to love ourselves first and then love others. So I would just encourage you to keep working with your team. And when you're feeling really good about your recovery and where it's at, then when those opportunities arise, you take them. You go on those dates. You have a good time, okay? Question number 4, and this kind of goes in from question number 3. It's a nice segue. What's the difference between recovering and recovered? Now, I did a video long time ago called What is Recovery? And so you need to check that video out, because I talk about this a lot. And I believe, honestly, that once you even think you have that little seed of thought about recovery, you're already in recovery. Whew, you're already thinking about it. Maybe I should do it. You're obviously going to be at the beginning end of it. And the end would be like, I rarely have any behaviors. I never even really have any urges. I'm doing really well. I think of it as like a spectrum. And the only difference is how often you're engaged in the behaviors and how often you still need extra support. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it can take years. It can take many years. It can take days, months, weeks, years. It don't feel like there's a certain timeline that you have to fit into. But the only difference is kind of where you are on the spectrum. We may slide along for many years, but that's how I see it. And you can leave your experience and your thoughts about that below. But I really think that it's all in the same. We're all working, right? We're fighting. We're trying to beat those urges, and we'll get there, okay? Journal topic of the day, drum roll. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. It's very true. And I want you all to think about this, and I want you just to hold this in your mind for, I don't know, I would say the next week, but I'll just say the next day. And when something happens to you and you find you have that visceral response where you just be like, or you're like, you want to cry, or you want to be like, get out of here, or whatever, I want you to think about it. And I want you to think about how you could react in a healthier way for you in the end. Because I know if I get pissed off in the car, like some crazy person cuts me off and then honks at me, I'm like, you mother, what the? And then for hours afterwards, I can be like, ugh, I'm so angry. Right? And it can ruin my day. And so what would be better for me is to be like, oh, excuse me, I'm going to slow down, let you go, no problem, right? Put my music on and jam. So I want you to keep that in your mind. And then let me know the things that you've done where you've reacted in a different way and you took the time to respond healthfully. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. I love you all. Thank all of you so much. So many of you are plus oneing my videos. Thank you. Don't forget to add me on Google Plus so that I can easily approve your comments. I can comment back. We can keep our conversation going. And I think that's really it. Thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow because it's finally Friday. And I'll be on Facebook. Okay, bye.